You will learn how to solve two-step equations by combining the like terms. Let's focus on question number 6. 2g minus 13 equals 3. Number 1, you need to understand that you are asked to find what g is. If a question is straightforward as this, it is easy to find. So you got 2g. Now g is on the enemy side. You got to assume that this is the enemy side and G is what you're trying to save. So if you assume that G is being protected so closely or guarded so closely by the 2, you cannot get to it until you get rid of these 13 negatives. So let's get rid of the 13 negatives first. So negative 13, let's go into the enemy camp with a positive 13. So remember, whatever you do on one side, you do the same thing on the other side. And now I'm going to put a line. Negative 13, positive 13 cancels out. So now you are left with 2g equals 3 and positive 13 combines to give you 16. Now you need to get rid of the 2 because you need to get the g alone. Safe. So if you look at the 2 and the g, there is no operation sign between. So that means it's multiplying. Since 2 is multiplying, let's go in with the division of 2. Now once again, remember the line implies division symbol. So 2 is multiplying. The opposite is to divide by 2 on this side and to divide by 2 on this side. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. 2 divided by 2 gives you a 1. 1 times g gives you just a g. And 16 on the top, 2 on the bottom. 16 divided by 2 gives you 8. So now you have got g safe, alone, and you found what g is. Let's focus on question number 10. Once again, if you look at this question, 17 equals w divided by 5 plus 13. You need to understand that you need to safely get w alone. Now in this case, the w is stuck on this side, which is the enemy side. You need to get rid of all the numbers that is guarding it. So you got w and it is so closely watched by 5. So let's get rid of this positive 13. So let's go to the enemy side with the negative 13 on this side. Whatever you do on one side, you do the same thing on the other side. Put the line. Please make sure that you are writing every single step. Positive 13, negative 13 cancels out. So on this side, the only thing you are left with is w over 5 equals sign. 17, negative 13 combines to give you a 4. And now if you look at this, you need to get w to the safe. So w is being divided by 5. Remember, we do the opposite. W divided by 5. So let's go in with the opposite of multiplying by 5 on this side, and let's do the same thing on this side. Multiply this side by 5. 5 times 4 gives you a 20. And if you were to pull this line, 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. 5 divided by 5 gives you a 1. So let's cancel that because 1 times w is going to give you just a w, and you got w equals 20, which is the answer. Let's focus on question number 12. Negative 6 equals z over 4 minus 3. Understand that z is what you're trying to get safe. So z is on the enemy side and z is so closely watched by the 4, which means let's come to this last. You can get rid of the 3 negatives. So 3 negatives, let's go into the positive 3 on this side and a positive 3 on this side. So now negative 3, positive 3 cancels out. On this side, on the right side, you have left with z divided by 4. Make sure that you have the equal sign. Negative 6, positive 3 combines to give you a negative 3. Please make sure that you're using a calculator to double check and see your calculations. So z in this case is what you need to get alone. So it is being divided by 4. The opposite of dividing by 4 will be to multiply by 4 on this side and on this side. I'm going to put a dot to imply I'm multiplying. 4 times negative 3 gives you negative 12. and 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. 4 divided by 4 gives you a 1. Let's cancel out. Z is what you are left with, and that is the final answer. Now combining the like terms, and they are asking you to solve the equation. Let's focus on question number 20. You got 6 equals negative 7f plus 4f. If you look on this side, they are both on the enemy side. So some of them are scattered here, some of them are scattered here. Since F is what you need to find and protect them and get them to safety, since here is one group and here is one group, let's pull them all together. Let's combine them together. So negative 7F and positive 4F, they are on the same side. Combines to give you negative 3F. Negative 7, positive 4 gives you negative 3, F tags along. So now you have equals 6. Now this is your one-step equation, which means you can solve the equation in one step. Now remember, you need to get F alone to safety. Now, if you look at the number and the variable, there is nothing in between. So you take it as the F is being multiplied by negative 3. So since this is being multiplied by negative 3, you divide by negative 3 on this side, and you do the same thing on the other side. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 gives you a 1. Any number divided by itself gives you a 1. 1 times F is F. 6 divided by negative 3 gives you negative 2. Let's use the calculator to double check these calculations. Watch this. 6 divided by 3 negative equals negative 2, and that is the answer. Let's focus on number 25. They are asking you to write an equation for the function described. Then they are asking you to find the input. So let's read number 25. Pause the video, read the question, and then let's continue. The output of a function is 4 more than 2 times the input. So let's take this question. So let's take it as the output is 4 more than. 4 more than means plus 2 times the input. So 2 times whatever the input is. That is the way you read the question. So the output is 4 plus 2 times the input. More than means plus. Now they are asking you to find the input. So input is what you need to find. Then the output is negative 10. So since you know the output, let's replace that to be as negative 10. So negative 10 is what is given to you, equals 4 plus 2 times the input. Now remember, this is what you need to find. So that means this is the enemy side from which you need to safely get this away and isolate it. So if you look at the 2 and the input, it is being protected so closely. But then, so let's get rid of the 4. 4, you take it as positive 4. So let's go in to the enemy side with a negative 4 on this side and a negative 4 on this side. Remember, whatever you do on one side, you do the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. 4 and negative 4 cancels out because they become a 0. And so you are just left with 2 times the input equal. Remember the equal sign which is coming from here, negative 10 and negative 4. So if I use the calculator to show you, I am going to input negative 10 combines with negative 4 to give you, I think I made a mistake, sorry. Negative 10 negative, now I got the negative. So 10 negative combines with a 4 to give me negative 14. So if you think at it like this, negative 10 and negative 4. 4 negatives and 10 negatives gives you 14 negatives. So now remember, you need to get the input all alone, which is what the question is asking you. So 2 is multiplying, do the opposite, divide by 2 on this side and divide by 2 on this side. Cancel, 2 divided by 2 gives you a 1. 1 times the input gives you just the input. And now let's focus on this calculation. So you got negative 14 divided by 2. So I have 14 negative divided by 2 to give you negative 7, which is the answer. Let's focus on question number 30. 16 minus 2.4d equals negative 8. Now remember, this is what you need to isolate, which means this is the enemy side. From the enemy side, you need to extract d to safety. So which means if you look at the d, you are looking at it's being so closely watched by negative 2.4. So let's come to this last. Now if you look on the other hand, you got positive 16. So let's go in with the negative 16 to get rid of this first. So negative 16 on this side and negative 16 on this side. Put a line, make sure that you have every single step copied down. 16 and negative 16 cancels out because they become a 0. So now all I'm left with is negative 2.4d. Make sure that you bring the equal sign. Negative 8 combines with negative 16. See the word that I'm using over and over again. I am combining a negative 8 with a negative 16 to give you a negative 24. Now negative 2.4 is multiplying d. You do not see any sign between the number and the variable. So ask yourself, if you don't see any sign between the variable and the number, that means it's multiplying. So it is being multiplied by negative 2.4. Let's do the opposite. So negative 2.4 is multiplying, so the opposite will be to divide by negative 2.4 on this side and on this side. Negative 2.4 divided by negative 2.4 gives you a 1. Any number divided by itself is going to give you a 1. And 1 times d is going to give you just a d. So now you got negative 24 divided by negative 2.4. Let's use the calculator. (24) negative divided by 2.4 negative gives you 10, and that is the final answer. This is a you-do question, which means we will check the answer together in the class. Try this out. 4n minus 5 equals negative 15. Try this question, and we will try this, and we will go over this question in the class.